What's up? Still in quarantine. I know. Shit's getting weirder and weirder every night. I don't know what's going to happen. I know my hands are getting worse. I'm getting wild, flailing around. This week at least felt, that's what happened. I messed up some tech stuff. I updated my phone so it deleted all my videos. So that's why it's been a while since I put one up. Because I'm an idiot. I'm at the point with technology where I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Anybody else? I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing in technology. Seriously, they were like, oh, for iTunes, some shit. You have to update your phone, okay. And then it wiped everything out. Fucking furious. That's where I was fucking livid. I calmed myself down. My co-host Rick Ingram had a baby this week. Well, his wife had the baby, whatever. So got to hang out with his daughter a little bit. That was fun, you know. Felt a little normal. Felt normal hanging out with other people. Hung out with a couple other friends. One of my idiot friends. I went to help him. He's moving. Who moves during a pandemic? Idiots. I mean, I guess it's a good thing. It's a new start. So he's moving and he needed some help with some boxes, right? So who do you call when you need somebody to move? Your butchiest girlfriend. So I went to help my friend. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not a rat. I'm not a rat bastard. I go to his house. I'm waiting outside. He comes out. No mask, no gloves, nothing. I got a mask. I got gloves. I got a fucking, a welder's hat on because I got to touch his shit. And I don't know what he's doing in his apartment. So I go, where's your mask? He goes, oh, I'm saving it for when I get sick. That's what he said. I'm saving it for when I get sick. What the fuck is wrong? I bet he uses that same logic with condoms. I only wear them when I'm sick. Please, this is what I'm talking about. These are the people that gotta go. Sorry, he's my buddy. I love him, but he's a fucking idiot. That's an idiot. That's an idiot's mentality. Do you understand? I'm losing it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a hazmat suit. You're walking around, you got a tank top on, one of your nuts are out. I can't deal with this. Whatever, finished helping him. Now I'm back here. I was like, all right, I figured out my phone thing. I had my friend come over. She figured it out. I'm dead. I don't care. I'll be the guinea pig. Like I said, I'll go out. Whoever wants to come over, hang out, let's do it. I don't care. I'll start making out with people at this point. I'm just losing it. I don't know what's real, what's fake. Conspiracy theorists are starting to make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like when you're reading shit and you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, everybody's lying, cheating, and stealing. Yeah, sure. That's exactly what's happening. So I don't know if stand-up comedy's ever coming back. So I thought I'd do another finish the questions that I was supposed to do last week that got wiped out of my stupid phone. I hope this video, I joined Cameo. If anybody wants a personal message to a friend, or you got somebody's birthday you want me to ruin and roast or whatever the fuck, just tell somebody they're an asshole. I just nearly knocked everything off. I joined it. Somebody ordered one. I film it. It came in upside down. Upside down. I have no idea how to fix it, how I did that. I've been doing videos. None of them are upside down. I don't understand what's happening right now. So here's my idiot friend texting while I'm doing this at 1:10 in the morning. Probably screwing somebody not wearing a condom. Anyway, Willie Sally, you asked where's my favorite place to perform. Obviously it's the Comedy Store, and then you said in the comments, of course that's what I was gonna say, you know it. But you asked like a good question, like what's the weirdest, wildest, craziest thing that's ever happened while I performed. And I do remember this like one night at the Comedy Store, because I have bad anger issues and I will throw down if I have to. Even in my late 40s, I don't give a shit. I'll lose a hip knocking somebody out or something like that. Wrestling, I'm an idiot. So I worry about that because I do go quick. And one night at the Comedy Store, these girls, goddamn, drunk girls, I love you ladies, but when you drink, no good. And these girls got so drunk and they pissed me off so bad that I felt myself going after them. Like I started blacking out, and my friend who was hosting at the time came up and he was like, yo, you all right? Like, you gotta get off the stage. You can't fight them, right? Like, this is a comedy club. So I was like, oh, yeah, right, yeah. And then weirdly, like a couple months later, I was working in Vegas and I was opening for Dice, featuring whatever, and it was a really shitty night in Vegas. It was a fight night, so it was a shitty night, meaning it was a slow night for us. Like, not a lot of people came out because everybody went to the fight. So I'm on stage, and there's probably, I mean, it's still like 100 people, but like, whatever, that's small for opening for Dice in Vegas. And so I go on, and these people are wasted, and there's two couples in the front, and the wife, of course, just drunk and I'm like, ugh, I'll fucking, like, I saw myself choking the life out of her. You know what I mean? Like, I saw her just go down, and in my head, so I'm like trying to, because I'm in Vegas, so I'm trying to like do a professional show. And I remember looking at her, and I shut her down a couple times. And at first, her husband was kind of on my side, like, hey, shut up, bitch. You know, like, I mean, in a cool way, like, hey, baby, and like hugging her or whatever, and kissing her, trying to distract her. And then he gave in and started like heckling me with her. And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker. So then the other couple was completely embarrassed. And the lady just she wouldn't stop. She just kept, I don't know how many martinis. She was on like cuntini. Like, she was in that level of just wouldn't stop. So I felt myself like blacking out again and going after this person. And I literally, there's like steps, because this is the cool Riviera showroom that was upstairs that like Sinatra and all them performed at. So there's like steps you walk down, and I was on the top step going toward this woman, literally going toward this woman, like, I'm going to kick this lady's ass. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in Vegas. And as I put my foot on that first step, Dice's then wife came running over out of nowhere, and all I heard her say was like, you gotta go, bitch. And she, thank God, she's as ghetto as I am, and she pulled this lady out, and the security got her husband. And I was like, oh shit, I'm on stage, I'm in Vegas, I gotta bring the show back. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna lose my job, like, I'm freaking out. And all of a sudden, I'm trying to pull it together, and I'm like getting a little laugh here, getting a little laugh there, and I'm like, all right, I might get this. And all of a sudden the crowd erupts, and I'm like, oh, I'm really doing this. And I feel a hand on my shoulder, and it's Dice, and he's like, it's cool, I'll go on. And I'm like, all right, sorry. And I'm like, thank you. And then he's so nice. He's like, give it up for Eleanor, she kicks ass, blah, 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 whatever. And I go backstage, and I'm fucking pissed, because I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers. So I went to go run out, and Dice's like then wife stops and says, no, they're gone. And I'm like, where the fuck are they? I want to get them. And she's like, no. Me and Dice, while I was on stage, he went out to meet his wife while they were, like, she was pulling them out to the lobby, and he started fighting with them in the lobby. And I was like, oh shit, like, I didn't see it, but everybody told me after to calm me down. And I was like, that's cool, somebody has your back, but thank God I didn't lose my job, and I didn't fully ruin the show. But that was like the wildest experience while I was on stage. I've had dumb heckles and shit like that, but nothing made me like that crazy where I felt like I was gonna lose control and black out. I don't know if this story's funny or informative or whatever, but this is me. This is my usual time to perform at the Comedy Store, so I'm feeling like, all right, I'm part of life again. I'm even wearing my Comedy Store jacket, very exciting. As my ghetto tripod, which is like a bunch of shoe boxes and a book, 2 books. So yeah, I'm losing it. You're watching me unravel. That's what you're doing. You're watching me. I hope I'm looking at the right spot. I don't know. I feel like dude, it's all going to end. So let's just go through it. Liz Yu asked, what is the hierarchy at the Comedy Store now that Mitzi's passed? Good question. I'm assuming you mean like who the booker is. I don't know. Our upper management is a guy named Eric Anderson. He's terrific. Our GM, and Peter and Polly run it. Peter Shore and Polly Shore run it. They're like the guys. You know, that do the whatever the big stuff. But the day-to-day operations, the general manager is a guy named Eric Anderson, and then Adam Egett books it. And I love Adam because, I mean, I love Eric too, but I'm just saying, like, Adam, as far as like keeping Mitzi's, you know, because Peter and Polly, her kids, are not like hands-on. You know, obviously they're older. She passed. They're in their own careers. Polly's you know, doing his thing, and Peter is a lawyer, I think, in Portland or something. So, but anyway, both great people, just not, you know, didn't have the passion and love for comedy like Mitzi did as far as developing comics. So because they're not there all the time. And so Adam, who is there all the time, I love that he'll just like watch new comics. He really enjoys like seeing what's out there, what's coming up, who's the next hot thing. And I always feel like he has, even if they're not regulars, they're all on his radar, and he watches and sees everything they're doing. Like just so many new, like Laura Bites, all these newer comics that were coming in and really kicking ass, like really coming in, just kicking the goddamn comedy doors down, and he's responsible for that. Like, that's a beautiful thing. Those lineups he was making were incredible. I mean, I hope for sure that we get back to them. I'm sorry, I left the TV on, and Superbad's on, so somebody's just screaming. I'm sure someone's getting raped. We'll see what happens. So yeah, so that's the hierarchy, and hopefully it gets to come back and we have fun lineups and stuff like that again at the Comedy Store. This next one is Matt Casalis. I don't know if I'm saying that. It's Casillas? I'm an asshole, Matt, so I apologize. But Matt wrote, do I think the tiger that we had as a kid was part of that Tiger King circus of people or whatever? Like those Tiger King idiots. I don't know. That's a good question. I just know I've told this story a bunch of times on different podcasts. The Comedy Store podcast, I told it on Crab Feast, Danish and O'Neill's podcast. Literally, like, when my best friend, my brother Billy's best friend, when we were kids, his parents were separating, and it was anything they could do to make the kid happy and make the kid, like, you know, make the other parent look bad. And his father got him a tiger. Literally had a tiger in South Philly. Like, that's crazy, but there was a tiger in South Philly, and I thought his father gave it to him. I have to correct myself, because I was hanging out with a friend in South Philly, and he was like, no, the mother, it was the mother's friend's tiger. The mother's best friend. So the mother would like watch the tiger and let Frankie play with the tiger. So of course we would all come over and play with this tiger in South Philly. Like, why? We're letting us play with a tiger. They're making shit up like, oh, you can only keep the tiger until he's 3. I remember the father saying that. That's why I was thinking the father gave it to him. But it was a friend of a family that was like letting them play with this tiger. And so the tiger, I was like, 3, how do we know how old it is? You know what I mean? Because they could have got this somebody could have sold this tiger and it was a year old. Who knows? You didn't see it come out. You know what I mean? They don't hand it to you with placenta on its ear. They didn't know. So we have a tiger. We're playing with a tiger in South Philly. And it was me and my brother Charlie. Every time Frankie would get this tiger, like every time the tiger was at Frankie's house, we would be at Frankie's house, like playing with this tiger. And the woman basically was letting them have, because the tiger was eating her furniture. So she was like, you guys they already had a dog, all kinds of shit. So there's no reason to bring a tiger into the mix. But we're weird like that. So now we have a tiger with dogs. I mean, we're city folk. We don't know if this goes together. So we were playing with this tiger, and my brother Charlie, literally, he's like Jungle Book. If I threw my brother Charlie in the middle of the jungle, 10 minutes later, you'd find him with a loincloth, and all the animals would be following him. That's just who he is. Like, he's Jungle Book. I can't think of the guy, whatever the person's name. What is it? What? I can't think of the name. Fuck, it's late. So, it's not that it's late, it's just that my brain is dead in quarantine. My brain has, anyway, so that's Charlie, right? And the tiger loved Charlie, would do anything for Charlie. And one day, we're walking, as soon as we would come in, this tiger would cuddle up in Charlie's lap, like, unbelievable. So we're walking the tiger, and of course we all go out because we're excited. We're playing with a tiger in South Philly, like, kind of idiots. So we're walking on Mensing Avenue on this patch of grass, and there's trees, and a rabid squirrel fell out of a tree and literally started like biting my friend's neck. So he let go of the tiger, and now the tiger is running down Mensing Avenue. Like, it doesn't even make sense that there's a tiger in South Philly. Now it's like just all this muscle running down Mensing Avenue. And thank God my brother Charlie was with us, because that's the only person that could have got that tiger back. And he did. He ran after it, got it back, and we were like, oh my God, it's so awful. Well, it got so big, and it started like ruining their furniture, Frankie's furniture, and their mom's friend's furniture. So they gave the tiger to a sanctuary outside of all this. I just got from my buddy that I ran into when I was home in Philly, because he knew this, he was closer to the family, like a cousin or something. So he was telling us all the stories about what happened to the tiger, because I couldn't remember, like, what did we just let this tiger go? I don't remember. But what happened was it got so big and so bad, like it was wrecking a row home, obviously. So she gave it to a sanctuary outside of Philadelphia, and like in the early 90s, some weird shit happened, and all the animals got out of that sanctuary, and they were running on the 95 or something like that in outside of Philadelphia, and they were killed, and Tigger was part of that. So I don't know where they got that tiger. I don't know if it was part of that circus of idiots from the Tiger King people, but I know there's a lot of idiots in this world, and they want weird exotic animals. Shit, we had a piranha in my mother's house. We had alligators. We had all kinds of shit. And the alligators, you'd have to feed them lizards. And I'd be sitting there with my boyfriend Mario, and there'd be lizards walking on our back, and we'd be like, ah, like just dumb shit. Dumb shit. I don't know why. I'm venting. I hope I answered all your questions. That was the last of the questions. Damn, I miss performing. This is bullshit. You got me stuck in here. I've been, like I said, just whatever. I don't know what the future's gonna be. I joined Cameo. If you want a personal message, I'm starting a new show that I'm gonna do on my Patreon. And my good friend and I are trying to put it together, and we're putting it on there. It's $5 a month to subscribe to my Patreon. If you want to subscribe, do it. If you don't. I get it. We're all broke. We're all screwed. But whatever, one day at a time. I'm trying to make something out of this. So I'm working on this show, and I'm only going to put it on my Patreon. I also have a bunch of other videos that I'm putting up there that haven't been released, comedy videos, the showcase for Ari's show that I talked about in another video. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for letting me vent, man. Hopefully I see you soon. I don't know when, but I miss you terribly. I miss all of you. I miss shitting on people in person. Love you. Bye.